here. I'm going to also start our finance live. Click, 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 click. Okay, start live. Click on one more time. Perfect. We are on Binance Live. We are on YouTube Live. We are on Twitter Live. We are everywhere live streaming. And I'm going to play our countdown video for everyone to know that we are about
Okay.
to start. So it will take us about like 20 seconds and then we will come back to our live session. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Ultiverse live show across different social media platforms. This is Moonlight, your host, and I'm also the Ultiverse head of community and this gentleman over here. And we are very happy to invite our long-term friend, Arthur, from SocialScan to teach us a lot of information about Web3 and AI. How exciting! I am definitely an AI junkie, and I can't live without AI tools right now. So I have to ask a bunch of questions to Arthur. And Arthur, would you like to introduce yourself and social scan to us, and also your role at SocialScan? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, Moonlight, thank you for the invitation. My name is Arthur. I've been a long-term personal friends with Ultiverse. I think I probably know you guys, your team, your founders, for like almost 1.5 years. During the entire bear market. And I know you guys are the best, if not one of the best, if not the best communities out there in Web3. So definitely super excited to be hosted today and share some of my thoughts, learning experiences on what we do today with you guys. A little bit about myself. I came to the States 2010 to Stanford to do a PhD study in physics, and got distracted into AI. Didn't quit my PhD. I got a degree, and actually also fall in love with AI after graduation. So spent almost a decade now in the Valley building big data AI products. For the last 2 years, me and my co-founders, long-term colleague, actually have started, looking to leveraging Web3 data to do some AI stuff. And we've pretty much focused on building, our internal infrastructure with different front-end experiments, trying to figure out what's the best way to do like data and AI stuff in Web3. And today, I think, I'm really happy to share. Finally, we have some interesting thoughts, and we'd love to kind of start to push to the community. And interestingly, today is like February 1st, and starting this month, we're actually starting to push SocialScan to broader markets. And actually today, I think you guys are actually the first community we tap into, and also will release certain whitelists to you guys. And that's the first batch whitelist. So just to showcase our friendship a little bit. Okay, so enough monologue. Moonlight, back to you.
Wow, that is really an honor, right? Very first batch, whitelist spot, and to have a test of your product, and that's just amazing. Thank you so much, and also giving us 100 spots. That is just a lot, and we are such a great honor. Yeah, certainly, our author team has known Arthur and his team for a long time, right? And we certainly, appreciate that at least kind of long-term development, especially we kind of like seeing each other grow, right, and strive.
Yeah, mainly seeing you guys, girl. So we kind of stayed in the back of back scene because the market was pretty down, and we are builder by nature. Really trying to focus on figuring out how AI fits with Web3. And definitely, like what the Moon says, hopefully today is the first time I join this live, but hopefully it won't be the last. So yeah, stay tuned about what we do. And by the way, I'm a CEO and co-founder of SocialScan. And yeah, so that's it. Moonlight.
Perfect. Well, come back more often because we would like to have you join us. Actually, I aim to host at least one AMA session related to AI and Web3 technology every week. Yeah, so come back for more updates over here. And of course, we're going to continue. Yeah, after we learn about other research and also learn about SocialScan, we also wanted to learn from expert, right? Especially Stanford, great. Oh my goodness, my younger brother is actually applying for a high school program in Stanford this summer. So we might spend our summer over there in Stanford as well this year. And so, we'll come back to our topic. We would like to know about your view in terms of the future of combining AI and Web3, because some people saying that AI and Web3 they're actually totally different things, and how could they combine together?
Right.
One is more centralized, right, and the other Web3 is like decentralized. How could we combine these two together? And so, in your viewpoint, what's the future if we could combine AI and Web3 together and to build a product?
I think that's a super intriguing question to ask as of today.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is, first of all, like high level, this question is so new. It's so new that if I'm pretty sure many of the you guys are audiences have been following Vitalik's blog. Actually, 2 days ago, Vitalik just recently posted a new blog talking about crypto plus AI.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first paragraph of his blog, he's like, hey, over the past many years, he's being asked about how AI plus crypto can actually merge together.
Mm-hmm.
And in all the previous time, his answers were pretty pessimistic, saying, hey, it's most likely superficial integration without actual values.
Mm-hmm.
But in this particular blog, he actually mentioned, hey, now he sees things slightly differently, and he envisioned to see it more differently. So that's his opinion, right? He as a long-term Web3 or crypto expert.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I think today, although I'm relatively unknown, but I come with a background of AI practitioner for the past 10 years or so,
Mm-hmm.
and only recently joined crypto space. So hopefully I can provide some kind of AI data science, machine learning engineering thoughts into this topic. So so the second thing I would like to bring out is, if you look at the first thing is today crypto plus AI is very new, right?
Mm-hmm.
But second thing is, if you look at AI trajectory, this year and last year, has been the new AI GC revolution. So many AI experts from Web2, they actually believe the future for human application interaction is going to be completely renovated. In particular, this large language model piece is going to play a central role in how kind of users and as such developers interact with backend application, like data backends or any sort of backend, and how users actually interact with machines.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take that into perspective, I think the third point that I want to make is it's really fair to say that when everything is so new, right, it's actually pretty exciting and intriguing for somebody to start thinking about, hey, build a AI expert or AI GPT or GPT expert
Mm-hmm.
with Web3 data, Web3 information, empowering itself, right? Because if you think about how OpenAI trains ChatGPT or large language model is training in general, is based off this huge, massive amount of data sets that's internet scale. But at the same time, internet scale meaning 99.999% of that information is actually from Web2.
Mm-hmm.
When you apply this general kind of technology, general AI model into Web3 space, which is tiny, right? Like plus there's so much more information on chain and off chain, within community, outside community, on the internet, on Twitter, right? That exists just very specific for Web3. So I think it's fair to say that somebody sooner or later gotta do something, bring this large language model capability, at least fine tuned with Web3 data. And if we can do that, you can think of many potential applications. Vitalik in his blog actually listed four different categories of applications. That's mainly from a cryptography, perspective, and some of that is a little bit of AI data science application. But from my perspective, from data science perspective, I think just off my head, right? Like imagine you and me being a degen or trying to be a degen
Uh-huh.
in Web3, trying to follow so many projects, so many tokens across different chains, different communities on daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the future can look brighter if somebody like an AI can actually help you, right? Go through that information, filter through the noise, figuring out which tokens are probably the best for you to follow, and in a timely manner, right? Like send out you chat messages, right? Notifications, application notifications, or emails, right? Like anyhow, so that you can actually act instantly. So that would be a very interesting tool and a very useful tool for anybody, right? Who's trying to make a profit or finding very interesting, exciting projects like Ultiverse and many of the upcoming Ultiverse games, for example. Yeah, just to name a few. But you can keep on imagining potential applications. But to do that, a general GPT model or like Llama 2 model, whatever large language model existing on the market right now, is not ready to fulfill this task, because behind the scene engineering is actually quite complicated. More
Ah, got it. And what I would like to follow up what you mentioned about, right? You talk about AI and games, right? So, uh, what's the like how important is AI in Web3 gaming if we wanted to add it? Because I know that in Web2 a lot of
yeah.
the studios, right, they started to integrate AI to their games so that the players they could freely develop the storyline, right, to whatever
Hmm.
they want. It's kind of like endless playing. So how about in Web3? Is that what's the major the major change, right? If we integrate AI to our Web3 games as well. Thank you.
Yeah. No, very good question. I think so just FYI, I've actually been a gamer since like 3 years old. So for over 30 years, I've been a gamer. So I think for this topic, I'm I can speak from a gamer perspective as well, right? Like not just from a Web3 gaming perspective, but also from in general gaming. I think AI is definitely super important. There's so many applications or synergies that can help with gaming in general, not just Web3, right? Like development, adding AI to enhance the user experiences, adding a lot of freedom, of degree of freedom into the games, right? Like over the past decades, there's been so many, Web2 games, even integrating AIs super successfully.
Mhm.
But I think when it comes to Web3 gaming, I think the key point is still, in my 3 cents, right? To have some sort of ownership of the game, and that ownership is sometimes on the surface, right? Like you can own electricship assets or in-game utility tokens. That's ownership. That's like financial ownership.
Mhm.
But on the other side, I think this is what I want to focus on a little bit more, like when it comes to AI plus game, right?
Right.
On the other side is really from a user perspective. Like as a gamer, for 30 years, if everything, all the games, for my child, becomes Web3 like, right? Like he can actually, he or she can actually own a piece of a game, and imagine 30 years later, right? Like if they are really true true, they have true loves for different games, different genres, that 30 years of history, like asset ownership, owning different electrics, right? Like MetaMerge and many other gaming assets,
Mhm.
can become my own credentials into the gaming industry, right? Even as a casual gamer, the moment I connected my wallet or log in my gaming account to different game, futuristic gaming platforms,
Mhm.
their AI should be instantly figuring out, hey, oh, Arthur likes this kind of game, right? And he's a god in League of Legends, right? So we should actually give him, $1,000 to incentivize him to buy this horse,
Mhm.
right? Making it up, right? So, but thinking about from a user experience perspective, gaming developers can definitely leverage that AI and big data, right, to understand and personalize the gaming experiences for gamers in general using Web3 technology. And simply because if you think about Web3, what is Web3, right? Like Web3 has any Web3 project has to leverage this blockchain as a supercomputer and a database at the same time
Mm-hmm.
to empower a new type of application. I think what you guys are doing is definitely super valid, right? Like imagine 30 years from now, Ultiverse with as immense kind of amount of users and also a huge lineup of games.
Mm-hmm.
Like any user within Ultiverse can become some sort of a god in in different genre, right? Not literally a god, but like as a rich gaming well, as a gamer with rich gaming experiences, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
so these experiences can really help you guys to build futuristic games, right?
Right.
Like imagine you have like 10,000 DAUs and every single gamer's experience is completely different, right? Coming back to your point of making the gaming experience completely personalized, right? So, and that relies on understanding your users to greatest extent, and years of gaming experiences is a really good way to do that.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
very nice. Thank you so much, Arthur. Yeah, from a gamer's perspective, right, to talk about AI's impact in gaming, not just in Web3, but also, yeah, gaming overall. And how about let's go back to SocialScan. What is the vision for you to build SocialScan, this project? And also, what are the products that you plan to push out? And how about these whitelists? What can the holders do with the NFT? Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So just again, we're still polishing up all the websites. If today, if you follow us on SocialScan /IO on Twitter, and you can actually access the website, right? So SocialScan in short is a large language model powered community centric discovery hub.
Mhm.
So the reason I say that is, it's a little bit early for now. So our large language model is coming soon. Sometime this quarter. Um, so, but at the same time, underneath, I think the discovery part becomes very interesting.
Mhm.
Because underneath social scan, there's a lot of data pipelining, boring stuff like blockchain explorers, supporting different blockchains, and basically indexing and aggregating every single state that's happening on chain, starting from EVM ecosystem, right? Think about mainnet, all the L2s, certain app chains. Like in future, if you guys launch an app chain, would love to be integrate that information into SocialScan, so that for every single thing that's happening on chain, within starting from EVM ecosystem, as a user, you actually can get access to that in real time. And just having that is not enough. Because why? Because discovery doesn't come free, right? Think of Google, right? Like Google took years of like data engineering, fine tuning their model, collecting labels from the mass in order to build a search engine like what they have today. But the problem with Google is, nobody from the community, from the user really own Google, right? So
Mhm.
that's a drawback of Web2. But social scan invented to become a public goods infrastructure. So whatever users contribute to the platform, like labels, right? The usage per se is actually going to be rewarded with a part of the ownership, like tokens,
Mhm.
to the users, so that over time, the better the more usage this discovery hub or service scan is used, the better the underlying like large language model can improve. And the more it improves, it can serve more people and more developers across the ecosystem, which feeds back to the value of this token network, right? So as a user, you actually as an early user, you definitely helping at the earliest and can start to more like a social mining tokens per se, and get a share of this of this platform early. But at the same time, you do face certain risks, right? Having bugs or having issues, product not entirely polished because the large language model from day one or AI model from day one probably is not smart enough.
Mhm.
But that's where the opportunity is, right? Like, for similar minded or like vision community users who would love to join early with us and stay here for the longer haul, and help us improve the product. They get the most the most rewarded, right? Like, as such, they own a better or bigger chunk of the network.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's a short introduction. Moonlight. Yeah.
Very interesting. And so, if there are other projects or community that they wanted to collab with SocialScan and receive the weather spot, are there any criteria that you would like to take a look from those projects or communities? Because I also have a connection with a bunch of projects, and I believe that they will all be interested in getting weather spot from SocialScan. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I think our product is positioned in a very interesting way, right?
Mhm.
Because as a Web3 project, who doesn't have a whole bunch of data on chain, right? So when that happens, you also have a whole bunch of users on chain, right? And with us, as long as we support that particular chain, which we are supporting almost all the EVM chains.
Mhm.
Our target is really support all the EVM chains uh, in Q1 or maybe early Q2.
Mhm.
So so we can definitely collaborate with a lot of the projects. And every single community will have their own community page, and we do intend to make it more fun, right? Instead of just a boring data project or like Dune like project, but we definitely more you know as I mentioned, right, like SocialScan is a community native discovery hub, meaning by logging to SocialScan, you actually instantly have access to all your community friends and all the and hopefully all the information that you care about as well, right?
Mhm.
So things like that. So yeah, definitely would love to work with and collaborate with as many projects as possible. Yeah.
That is nice. And friends, if you just join us over here, I see that so far we have over 1,200 live views on Binance Live. And if you just join us, we are interviewing SocialScan's author over here. And this is a AI empowered community native social discovery hub. The future is AI. Wow. And this is certainly pretty cool. So, for newbies, how do we start from zero and quickly navigating to your product over here? Because I am looking at your website right now, right? And we see that, okay, social trust, company owned. So currently the product is still under development, right? Or is the app, let me launch the app and try it. Okay.
Yeah. I can share a screen actually.
Of course, that would
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
take a look. Yes, I believe it's
Yeah.
connecting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we haven't we haven't started public beta testing yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll as of today we'll start kind of alpha invite only very small scale alpha testing. And the product's almost ready. The large language model piece is gonna take a month or two to be launched.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is almost ready. And the alpha testing will actually open in a week from now. And yeah, so if you log in here, very short landing page. We're adding more material to it, like a video and stuff. And if you launch the app, you can log in with your wallet. But right now, it's gonna ask you for invitation code, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are curious, for some of the basic infrastructure stuff that we are already supporting, for example, Manta Network recently, they launched token,
Mm-hmm.
and their official blockchain explorer is actually built underneath
Mm-hmm.
SocialScan,
Oh,
to provide all the data, right, to what we call consumer interface. So the homepage I was showing you, right, this is more everybody's interface,
mm-hmm.
and we envision 99.99% of the users, Web3 users, to come in here, but only developers who are developing on on blockchains should use Blockchain Explorer like this, right?
Mhm.
This is, to be honest, EtherScan-like interface. This is what developers like as well. But we make it, a public goods infrastructure, aka, very affordable for all the chains. And as such, all these, different chains data coming back to SocialScan. Like one, very small feature for us is like, Manta Pacific's DFE tracker, for example. Um, as some of you may know, like Manta is using Celestia as a data availability solution. If you don't know about data availability solution, think of it as kind of an internet drive to host blockchain transaction data, so that these data don't have to be hosted on Ethereum mainnet, which is super, super expensive, right? As such, by using Celestia, Manta is actually saving the users tremendous amount of gas fees. And this fee tracker is literally telling, by all Manta Pacific across the chain, almost 1 GB of data, slightly around like 1.5 month, time, like almost 1 GB of data has been stored on Celestia instead of Ethereum mainnet, and that savings part is $1.5 million, right? Just imagine like that $1.5 million can actually be, benefiting any users who's using Manta Pacific as an L2, right? So that, for almost 80 million transactions, every single transaction is saving, you can do the math, right? Yeah. So that, but this is a very kind of simple feature. But what I'm saying is, thinking about from a user perspective, for us, we just know everything that's happening on different blockchains, and we will funnel, kind of useful information to the users, and as a kind of a know-how, or the kind of the interacting interface to help user navigate through Web3. We're adding a AI model, right, to this interface, so that you don't have to look at, jargons like or dry graphs like this, unless you really want to. But instead, you can actually ask somebody who's hopefully be a Web3 expert, and show you around. So that's the large language model piece that we are talking about. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing all the details with us. And also, I see that last week on SocialScan's official Twitter handle, that your team posted 1.3 million wallets analyzed, and among them, 300,000 wallets were identified as potential bots. That's very interesting. Do you mind to reveal some, like, so yeah, how to be a bot? Because, I also do those tasks, right? And I might use
Yeah.
different wallets. I might use brand new wallets, right? I might only use those wallets to do the Zeta chance test, right? But I have no bots. So I wonder what are the criteria? Yeah, and especially yesterday, it's kind of like
Yeah.
big news that
Mhm.
people receiving Zeta chance airdrops, right? So a lot of them found that, oh, they actually got nothing, or they only got one Zeta. So what's the criteria behind these? Yeah.
Yeah. A disclaimer, like that. That chain was one of our customers, but not the only one. And the way SocialScan actually makes the economics, the token economics work, is really to provide data services or data APIs to developers, so that they can actually pay the network, right? Well, users benefit. And that chain is one of our customers. And we didn't really handle the airdrop amount part, but we provide expert analytics or machine learning studies of this 1.5 million wallet addresses, right? And when run our analysis and provide references in terms of who might be a bot. And the way we do it is actually through a very specialized machine learning algorithm that was battle tested in Web2 era, from our previous companies. And in previous companies, we sold the solution to number one social media on earth, and number one social media in the West as well. And some of the biggest payment infrastructure like Alibaba, Amex on earth. and so on and so forth, right? Imagine these companies have very robust kind of anti-fraud system already, but we were still able to sell them. Is mainly because of the algorithm is so special, and it's good. It's designed in a way to detect similarities across, not just a few, but hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or even millions of accounts. Meaning, for example, Moonlight, your wallet, if you were manually doing the tasks yourself, and you may in certain cases, if you feel lucky, you can have like 3 to 5 accounts on doing the same task on Zeta. But as a human being, you can't really do that task at the same time, right?
Right.
But guess what? Computers can, and certain experts or scientists, they can actually write scripts, right? Like Python scripts to operate, tens, not tens, usually hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of wallets to do the same task in a simulated way. And whenever that happens, there's got to be certain similarities from their behavior patterns, and also the way they actually receive funds on chain, right? From a graph level, and our algorithm is really good at detecting that. Whenever you have scripts, script automated, kind of behavior, we will detect that. So that's a criteria. We don't really have a single criteria. Like, for example, I think 1.5 years ago, Nansen really actually helped Arbitrum to do the airdrop auditing. They only had like 3 rules to flag who might be a bot. Saying, hey, if your account is like 3 months old, within 3 months old, you don't qualify for airdrop, or if you don't have more than 10 transactions, or you don't have like over $10 worth of assets, right? I don't remember the exact rule, but usually the rules are as simple as that. But I'm pretty sure these rules sounds fishy, right? Like I'm not the richest guy in Web3, but I definitely have a few wallets that doesn't have over 10 USD, right?
Yes.
Like in the wallet, right?
Yes.
And for certain cases, I just want to create my own new wallet, right? Why that matters, right? And by the way, during the study, not just for Data Chain, but for many other clients as well, we have around like 10 or so, at least, and a lot more coming as well. We actually noticed, it's very interesting behavior in Web3. Certain accounts have been around acting as a bot for like 5 to 8 years. They hop around, mainnet, Polygon, BNB, different EVM ecosystem, Galaxy, Link3, maybe Ultiverse as well. They just try to, complete tasks on chain, right? So and trying to game the system. So I think, well, they exist, and it's a normal behavior, and it happens in Web2 as well. But I think for Web3, like having too much of that activity is not good. Meaning, the kind of the rewards and the ownership is tilted, right? So the last thing I think each community wants to do is really to give more resources to not their most loyal community members, but instead the bots, right? So I think it's okay to reward the bots in certain way, because I think it's normal behavior in a sense, but I would definitely would love to give the majority of the reward to our supporters, our contributors, our earliest contributors, whoever is really helping us to improve the product. For example, like the AI model I was talking about, right? Us alone, you're like we can't do it, right? We only have like 10 people in the team today, right? Like, although we're hiring rapidly, the team growing, we recently closed a round, etc., etc. But we I think our ambition is really large, and to fulfill this ambition, even if we have like 500 people, I don't think that's enough. Why? Because in Web3, it's all about the community, right? Like we definitely want to involve as many like-minded people in the community as possible, and so that people can actually not only listen to what I'm trying to pitch, right? Or trying to sell, like the vision that I'm trying to sell, but really experience it firsthand, so that they wholeheartedly believing
Mhm.
what we're building is truly decentralized, trying to make it public goods,
Mhm.
instead of us as a small team trying to take advantage of the whole industry, right? So that would be the last thing I want to do, right? So, but instead, definitely want to encourage the community to get more involved.
Mhm.
And if we want to do that properly, think about all the airdropping strategy as a gaming system, right? Like you can't like other people break your system so that they can actually game the system, right? So coming back to the game example, if somebody can easily leverage a couple of scripts and then be a god in the game,
Ah,
that's gonna damage all the other gamers experience, right?
right.
Like you have so many examples in the gaming industry. So
Mhm.
yeah, enough on that.
I
Yeah.
see. So, does that mean that the pain points that your team, the social scan team, see would be uh, those spots that they are like roaming, or the farmers, right? They even have like a farmer, should I say, farmer studio, right? Farmer army, right? They would just go to each project. They
I,
might have like thousands of tens of
yeah, yeah.
accounts over.
I
So is that those are the pain points that you see, whether and you
yeah,
to solve it.
I don't disclaimer. I don't necessarily see farmers as a problem.
Okay.
I'm saying is if if certain players,
Mhm.
like a small group of farmers, they do to extreme, right? They take, let's say, 80% of the airdrop from the community. I think that balance is tilted.
Right.
So meaning the trust, or the balance within the community is broken, right?
Mhm.
So then when you don't have a rule, you don't have a community, right? So I think you definitely need to maintain that rule somehow, so that
Mhm.
the best people, the best believers, the people who really putting their heart and soul and sweat into improving the community, they actually get the biggest share.
Ah.
But for most of the farmer, I think they bring activity, they bring liquidity in certain cases, right? They make the community look more noisy. I think that's good. Well, at least if you look at Web3 today, right? Like if there's no farmers, I think it would be very silent in a lot of cases.
Right.
So that's not good either. But I'm just saying, I still think a community needs to maintain its trust and its rules,
Mhm.
so that it can become a long-term sustainable community,
Right.
instead of getting plagued from in the early days. Yeah.
Mhm. I see. Then, what is your vision for your project social scan? Do you envision that, for example, I would envision that in the future,
Mhm.
all of the larger chains or larger project, when before they are going to give airdrops, they would ask social scan, "Hey, would you please help us to scan all these like 2 million wallets, right? And then to determine which are bots and we wanted to eliminate." And is that your envision, or do you want to actually something
And
different?
actually, no. So let me, yeah, since people are, well, since it's the first time, we can share a little bit more alpha.
Oh,
Um,
Alphas, we love it.
yeah. Um, so the bot detection. Well, you can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is more technical, but I think what I'm trying to say is, we're looking at this a little bit bigger
Mm-hmm.
than just simple machine learning applications, and the bot detection is one of the user-defined functions that we actually know, just happen to know how to do it
Mm-hmm.
in our way. But there's so many other security companies who's trying to solve the same problem using different technologies
Mm-hmm.
or different models, per se. And all of these are still are very helpful. And in fact, in order to really understand CPU attacks, you actually need to combine different signals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but all I'm saying is, at the social scan, you see the social scan applications are actually on the upper right.
Right.
That's like really like a window and a main interface for any user to interact with the large language model.
Mm-hmm.
And we as a company building infrastructure to provide a lot of bullets and ammunition to large language model. And these ammunitions are actually from all the on-chain, um, you know, uh, databases for chains themselves, right? And this labeling, formatting, and integration is already happening. And one of the major features for SocialScan to launch next week is this data labeling piece, and that's how every single user can actually help us improve the large language model, really making it valuable, right? So how much you like a certain product, how many people would love to vote for Ultiverse, right? And some boring stuff like where's the Ultiverse treasury, right? If you guys have that, and like similar case for Azuki, right? Where's their treasury? Can we take a look, right? On what are the activities, and can I set up a notification whenever there's transaction happening with certain treasuries, stuff like that, right? So that can be immensely powerful monitoring, kind of infrastructure, just from that perspective. And I think taking one step back, you saw on the upper layer, right? I stopped sharing, but you saw on the upper layer is really about how developers can actually express their understanding of data and expose that to users. And we want to amplify that expression, really help developers to freely express themselves using on-chain data and off-chain data in certain cases, so that the ecosystem really can actually take off with AI plus crypto. Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. So yeah, we perfectly circle back to AI plus Web3, right? Or AI plus crypto. That is just very nice. And well, although we know that you already share a lot of alphas and also share how SocialScan works, and also and the combination, right, you envision, right, for AI in Web3. Are there any additional information that you'd like to let our audience know and we haven't covered yet? So far, we got over 2,000 live views, and I'm going to drop another round of crypto boxes for our audience to grab. And yeah, if you would like to share more alphas, feel free to do so. Thank you.
I think that's enough alpha for today. Just kidding. Yeah. So I think the way we so this month we're actually starting to build up our community with SocialScan. So the team is very actively working on polishing the material, polishing the information, refining the social media as we speak. But you can already find us on Twitter, and actually our Discord is pre-launch. Right now, if you want to join our Discord, join our community, stay there early. For more alphas upcoming this month, feel free to do so. And you can find us at SocialScan /IO on X or Twitter, and you will realize SocialScan is an application layer on top of a protocol we call Chimera protocol, and the Chimera protocol is really the infrastructure behind the scene. But SocialScan is our main kind of a community interface pushing forward. And yeah, so actually, very soon we're launching our own activities page, etc., all hosted by SocialScan itself. So our vision is really to encourage community members to stay with us. Whatever contribution they make on social, on chain, in app, they actually all earn a reward in some sort, right? So and eventually that will be translated into a ownership of the network, like in the form of utility token. And I think that that can be immensely interesting. And in terms of partnerships, if you go through the Twitter of SocialScan, we already have a long roster of partners that we already work with, mainly starting from a public chains. And then in the past, we actually established a lot of partnership with GameFi projects or metaverse projects like you guys, and many other gaming studios. We'll keep on doing that as well.
That is just very nice, yes, and also looking forward to seeing more activities on SocialScan's official website that we could participate. We could farm. I'm a small farmer in West.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Today there's only one button, launch app, right? I think as early as next week, there will be an activities page, right? Right next to launch app. Just stay tuned with our Twitter. So
Nice. Thank you so much, Other, for your time. I know it's still early in West Coast over there, right? It's around 11, 16 a.m. over here in the East Coast. And appreciate your time
yeah.
spending with us. And
Hmm.
yeah, we are also featured on Binance front page. And later I will share the screenshot with you in our group chat. And also, yeah, once the tasks are up on your webpage, be sure to let us know. Perhaps maybe we could also deploy some tests on SocialScan's website as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah. For sure.
cool.
Yeah. Let us know.
That would be cool. Yes, because recently at Ultiverse we are doing a 1 billion soul giveaway, which is a lot and a lot of points
Wow.
that and in the near future people could convert the soul points that they receive into our tokens. So this is definitely very very important for our company.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, and
Yeah. I would love to keep collaborating with you guys.
uh, awesome. And yeah, I'm sharing the page over here. This is us, featuring on the front page of Binance. And if you go to Binance.com and then find the live session, you're going to see our banner and up high over there. That will just share the screenshot to the group chat. And once again, thank you, Arthur, for your time. We'll see you
Yeah.
around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mulan, for your time as well. Thank you for the invitation.
Bye.
See
Thank
you.
you. See you at Denver. East Denver. Thank you.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
See you. Okay, everyone, we're very glad to have our social skins co-founder and CEO over here. Arthur, yeah, he's definitely an expert in the AI field. Okay, I am going to checking over here. I'm actually going to find our replays. Where's our replays? Okay. Let me see. Okay, I will first. Okay, I need to um end our live streaming over here, right? And I will also need to um, let me check. I need to say bye to our friends who are watching us on YouTube Live and Twitter Live. Oh, but before that, okay. What I need to do is I do need to play our ending video. Okay, Doki, would like to say bye to friends who are watching us on our Twitter live. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll also like to say bye to friends who are watching us on our YouTube live as well as on our Twitch live. Thank you so much. See you next time over here. Okay, and soon we will have replays available. So we are going to do our replays for friends who miss our previous live session. No worries.